Start this recording. As far as the users tab is concerned, this is where all of your extensions are. So you have 3 phones, you have 3 extensions, you have the name of each person, scope, office manager, going to be you, you have admin access, and then you have your email right here. So that way, if you need to contact any of your staff, at least you have that information right there. All right. Now, if we need to make any changes to an extension, just click on the name of that particular extension. It'll bring up an entire submenu. So basic stuff, profile information. You have your first name, last name, login name. Normally what we do is we just use your business email to give you a login. You're familiar with it, no matter how long or short it is. Yeah. And basically it's just very easy to remember, especially with newer people as yourself. So departments or sites, you can actually break down these extensions into specific departments or sites if you want. Being that you guys only have 3 extensions, not really a need for that. Yeah, no. It's one office, fairly small. We should be good to go. As far as overriding with site defaults, if you wanted to create answering rules for a particular site, you can. And then time zone, you're always going to be in Georgia, so US Eastern is going to stick. If you wanted to say take your phone with you out to California, then you change this. It follows, your time frame based on location. Yeah. So directory options. So this right here is to include this extension in dial by name directory. So if you wanted to put that button prompt on the auto attendant, person calling would press it and then type in the first 3 letters of their party's last name and get connected that way. All right. Now, caller ID information, that's just going to be what you're broadcasting out when you're making phone calls. All of your phone numbers will show up right here, and then whichever one you want to use, you can. All right. Now, dial planning, basically giving this extension permission to dial wherever, whenever. Permit all would be anywhere on the planet. You have limited international, which would be the Western Hemisphere, and then US and Canada, which is going to be right here and right north. All right. Now, bread and butter, the platform, pretty much answering rules. So you have answering rules on the extension level, and then you also have answering rules on the phone number level. So if I come over here, I'll have a bunch of different forwarding options. So you could do a do not disturb. That's just going to send calls directly to voicemail. Call screening, you don't need to use. You'll be able to see a phone number pop up and reject it right on the phone. That's more for analog phones. You have call forwarding. So always is going to be no matter what, these calls are getting forwarded elsewhere. As you can see, you had office assistant forwarding right there. So that's why you weren't able to get calls earlier. So basically all you have to do is just delete that out and click it off. So you're not forwarding anymore. But you could forward it to another extension on the platform like it was. You could forward it to, say, an off-net phone number like a cell phone as well. Or once I show you the mobile application, you could log into that. You could use that and forward your calls there. Or we even offer a web phone I'm going to show you too. So even if you're working home from computer or God forbid we have another pandemic, you could just log on to the website, use the web phone right there. All right. Same thing when busy. So if you're on the call with someone and you want it to roll over elsewhere, you can. When unanswered, that would be if you wanted to have the call not hit your voicemail and you wanted to roll over elsewhere, you can. And then a built-in backup we have, because they are VoIP phones, they're relying on an internet. God forbid you guys have an outage or something like that. We'd actually set it up where your calls automatically forward elsewhere in the event that the phones become deregistered. So you could put, like I said, extension number or phone right in here. And then, are you logged into the cell phone app yet? Did Caitlin show you how to do that? Okay, okay. All right, well, I'll show you how to do all that. But another cool feature is simultaneous ring. So that's going to ring both your desk phone and your cell phone app at the exact same time. So that way, if you're in one part of the building, instead of doing all that cardio running back to your phone, all you have to do is just take your cell phone out of your pocket and answer it right there. All right. And then if you want to keep it as simple as possible, just ring user's extension. It's just going to ring your phone. We'll keep it like that for now until you want to make some changes. All right. So now, as far as voicemail is concerned, these are going to be your voicemail options. To enable your voicemail, just click this on. And now you have a voicemail box. You have these options right here: sort voicemail inbox by latest first. That's going to be your most recent received voicemail, and then it's going to work its way back and in playback. Announce voicemail receive time is going to put a timestamp on it so you know when that voicemail was left. And then you also have announce incoming caller ID. It's going to read you out the phone number before the voicemail is played. So that way, if someone leaves you a vague voicemail, they don't leave a name or a number or anything else like that. It's going to read you the phone number. You can get back to them while you're taking notes. Yeah, a lot of people unfortunately leave a lot of nonsense on voicemail. So at least you'll have a phone number in that aspect. Yeah. Another cool feature, operator forward. So if you wanted to designate, say, a receptionist to take calls once a person hits a voicemail, this will actually give the caller an option to get back to a live person instead of leaving a voicemail once they hit your voicemail box. So basically, you would just select who that is, type in their extension. When the caller presses 1 to get back to them, it'll go back to that phone specifically. Yep. So that way, if it's very urgent, they don't want to leave a voicemail, they need to get someone right away, you have that option. All right, now copy to extensions. So this will actually copy your voicemails as they come in over to a different extension. If you're going to be away for an extended period of time, you have the ability to copy your voicemails over to somebody else's phone. All right. And voicemail transcription. This is basically translating your voicemail into text format. How you would read that is through your email. We send you an email with that transcribed. Also, you could read it on your cell phone application as well. So very good if you're in a meeting and you're expecting an important call. You could just look down at your cell phone, see if someone left you something important. If not, just ignore it. All right. And then we have voicemail to email functionality. So all of your notifications are going to be down here. So send with hyperlink, just going to take you to a website that plays it. Attachment is actually going to send you the audio file attached to the physical email you receive. All right. And then voicemail greeting, going to record the same way as the auto attendant. If we edit, you can do text to speech and upload or record. I guess you're probably going to have to change this for your own sake. But you could use the physical phone to do that. If you noticed, you have that message button on there. Yeah, so if you hit that, default password is 7777. You'll have the ability to re-record your voicemail greetings, check your voicemails, delete, so on and so forth. All right. And then as far as phones, this is going to bring up all devices connected to this extension specifically. So you'll just see the one desk phone. And if you want to change any of the buttons on it, come over here. And the system will basically show you an exact replica of what your phone looks like. And then you could select a few different options on what you want each of these buttons to do. So if you wanted to have it be another person on the platform you wanted to reach by pressing one of these buttons, you can. That's user BLF. Type in the extension, give it a custom label. Call park, basically just a hold button that anybody could pick up. It'll glow red when someone's waiting in that call park. So if you go over to a different phone, you just hit the button and then you're live on the call. Speed dial, got any vendors you're consistently calling? I see you have a few down here already that Caitlin pre-programmed on your phone. But all you have to do is just type in the phone number, give it a custom label, and then that's stored right on your home screen right here. All right. We also have a queue toggle. So queue is basically just multiple phones ringing at once or in a predefined order. If you want to log yourself out of it, you just hit this button. You're not receiving those calls anymore. Log yourself back in, hit that same button again. Now you're receiving calls if you're involved in one of those call groups. And then finally, time frame toggle, basically like a day and night mode button. So if you guys work sporadic hours or didn't have set office hours, you'd use this to go from day and night mode. All right, but we already have most of this stuff set up, so you're not going to need most of it. Yeah, I kind of figured. So auto attendance, we went through briefly, just to have a recording of it. As far as I need to change this, that's the office assistant. All right, so we did that. Did put a repeat prompt on there, so that way if they didn't hear anything, at least you have that. So Menu prompt's going to record the same way. Text to speech, upload, record. And then if I click on one of these empty slots, there's a few different things you could have on these buttons. So user is just going to direct to one phone call queue. You would create a queue, multiple phones ringing, and then it would redirect there. Directory is going to be a dial by name directory, as I told you earlier. You can have it go directly to your voicemail, or if you wanted to set up a general voicemail box, you have the ability to do so. Voicemail management will allow your staff to reach this auto attendant, hit whatever button this is on, and check their voicemails that way. So if they didn't want to take advantage of the mobile application, they would still have a remote way of checking their voicemails offsite. So basically, they click that, type in their extension, type in their password, they're logged into their voicemail box. They can make all the changes that they need. All right, now if we come over here, external number. So say if you wanted to redirect their calls to 508, or if you wanted to give them an option to actually reach the local, you could do an external number. They hit a button on your auto attendant, they get rerouted to that particular phone number. Or if you wanted to implement like an emergency line or whatever. All right, now as far as play message, this is just going to be an audio file, kind of sound like a broken record. Same way you record everything else. It's just going to play a message, and then you choose where you want that call to go once that message is played. All right. Now, and then we have repeat prompt, just in case someone's hard of hearing, they didn't hear the appropriate steps, they didn't start button mashing. Repeat prompt. Yeah, star. And then you have 0 for an operator anyway, so that way, they'll be able to get to one person. And then you have add tier. That's going to create sub menus if you want. All right, now call queues. Basically, this is how you create certain call groups. So if you were to lead your main number to this call queue right here, all of your phones would ring. And then whoever gets to it gets to it. But we'll just create a queue right now. So we'll just do ring all, give it an extension. If you had departments or sites set up, you would auto include every agent that's in those departments or sites to this call group. So that's why you would use that. But you have a few different types of ringing. Round robin, whoever's off the phone the longest is going to ring first. Tiered round robin, same exact thing, but you set up a predefined order. Ring all, just going to ring all the phones at the exact same time. Linear hunt, that would be this person rings and then this person rings if they don't answer, so on and so forth. And linear cascade, they're all going to keep on ringing as they go down the line, but one phone's going to ring before the next. And then your basic call park. All right, so you can choose which number to lead to this. You don't have any numbers available. Pre-queue options. So this is one of our other backups as well. So say you have your main phone number leading to that call queue. We could require agents. So basically, if the system reads that there's no phones available, we have an exit strategy right here. This is another one of those failovers, just in case you guys are down. We could just reroute this to a personal cell phone or the mobile application. All right, in queue option, basically the same thing. It's going to ring for six rings. It's about 5 seconds per ring. And then you could either create this call queue's own voicemail, or you could just forward it to a different destination. If you wanted to use your voicemail box, you have the ability to do so. All right, now on the time frames. So if I wanted to add a time frame, click the add button. I wanted to figure out my open hours. Days of the week and times. Select what days your guys are open. Then use the sliding scale to determine what that time frame is per day. Another cool feature, if you want to set up your holidays ahead of time, if you know your holiday schedule, you could basically just do a from and to date and then have the time over here. And you could also have multiple time frames. So that way, it's Martin Luther King Day on a Monday. Yeah, so that way you guys have it set up where you're going to an open hours during normal business hours, but we could set it up on these blockout dates. It's just leading right to those closed hours and people are just getting your voicemails. All right, music on hold. You could just click on your domain right here. That's going to be system wide. So every person on the system is going to hear this music on hold. Hit add music. and then you just browse your computer for whatever file you want. And if you want to add a message, like a broken record, yeah, text to speech, upload, record for the 5th time. All right. Now, phone numbers. This is the most important tab here. This is where all of your main routing happens. So this is your main phone number right here. You can enable timeframes. So if you wanted to create, a Christmas roll, it would show up here. But during open hours, it's going to go to the open hours auto tenant. You could lead it to a user, which is just one phone, a call queue, multiple phones ringing at once, have it go to a voicemail and auto attendant, or PSTN number, which is just an off-net phone number, say like a cell phone. All right. Now, over at 508 side, they usually just, after hours, it just goes right to Snuffy anyway. So over here, everybody's just leaving voicemails. All right, phones is just going to give you all of the devices that are on your network. So you'll see a green check mark if they're connected. You'll see a red X if they're disconnected. Easiest way to check if something's up or down or not. If you see a red X, just give us a call. We'll be able to figure it out. And then finally, call history keeps everybody incredibly honest. So you have a lot of from names. So person who's calling, what their number is, what number they dialed, which extension they ultimately got. You have quality of service, meaning how well that call went on a data level. You have your date and time, and then the duration of the call. And then you even have the ability to click this cradle to grave button. And then it'll actually show you the entire call flow from start to finish. You could even see who hung up, just in case someone gets angry at you. You could prove that they hung up on you. You didn't hang up on them. Okay. So that's pretty much it for the admin portal. Any questions or? Yeah, there's a bunch of features. This is going to be the most user-friendly VoIP platform that you'd ever come across. What I'm going to show you now is just how I log into my personal account. So as the admin, since you're the office manager, you're the head honcho, you're going to pull up the admin portal right off the bat. So if you want to go to your account, click on my account, and now you have all of your personal stuff. So you have your voicemail messages right here. You have your recent call history down here. If you come over to messages, this is all the messages that you have. So you could play them. You could hit call to play if your computer doesn't have speakers. You'll be able to play it on your phone. If you need to forward this to a different extension, you can. You could download it and save it to your computer if it's super important. And then you could save it. Once I hit saved, it's now stored in my save folder on my voicemail box. Now, this is accessible on the physical desk phone as well. So whatever changes you make here, they're also going to apply to both your desk phone and your mobile application. And then if you delete something and you didn't mean to delete it, you got 24 hours to move it out of the trash or else it's gone forever. All right. Now, as far as contacts, there's going to be all of the people you work with. Plus, if you add contacts, you could type in the person's information, hit save. And also what's good about adding contacts here, you have a remote phone book on your desk phone that you'll be able to see those contacts and call them right away, right off your desk phone. These contacts are also going to show up on the mobile application as well. So that way you just take your cell phone out of your pocket. You're not, using your personal cell phone anymore. If you call on that mobile application, it's going to show up the training alliance phone number, not your own. All right. So answering rules, same exact thing as the admin portal. You have your time frame and what your phone's doing during that time frame. All of your time frames are going to be right here, same as the admin portal. Your personal phone is going to be right here. As you can see, I have my desk phone and my mobile application. And then I can edit my own buttons. So if anybody needs access to make these changes, we can give them a login as well, and they can log into their own stuff and, change it fairly easily. And then music on hold, depending on your staff's musical taste. Each phone could have their own music on hold, but if they're a little rough around the edges with their music, don't let them know about this. All right. And then call history is a little less broken down than the admin portal just because it's only showing calls to your extension specifically. All right. Now, as far as apps, I'm going to show you what the web phone looks like. So this is what the mobile application looks like. I'm okay. So web phone, you'll be able to use to call up your computer. The mobile application looks exactly the same way as this. The only difference is the menu's on the bottom. So if you wanted to use your computer to dial out and take calls, very easy. New call. You have your recent call history right here, so you can give them a call back if they called you. Contacts. All of your voicemails are going to live in here as well. You have your recent call history. And then if you want, we could even take your phone numbers and make them text message capable. So if you had anybody who needed to send you a picture of documents, you didn't want to use your personal cell phone to retrieve those or give out that phone number, just give us a day's notice. We can get your main phone number textable, and then we can assign your extension to handle those text messages. All right. Now, another cool feature, you can actually park a call on your desk phone and then pick it back up on your cell phone application. So that way, if you're stuck on a call, you need to go to another part of the office, you have the ability to do so. Once you put it in one of these parks, you'll be able to retrieve it. It'll actually show the call active right here. And then as far as these settings, this is more for computer purposes only. So I have my greetings. You'll be able to change your voicemail greeting right from your cell phone too. And then a bunch of basic settings like where you want to call from as far as device, microphone, audio input and output. That's what you're using to speak and listen into. Ringtones, you have a bunch of good stuff, bunch of bad stuff. And then call waiting tone is just the additional beep you hear when you're calling someone who's already on the phone. You could choose to disable that based on your privacy needs or concerns. So, all right. So, any questions at all, or? So on the cell phone, it's called Snap Mobile. It's going to be one word. So SNAPMOBILE. All right. You're going to have the same user login credentials as you would the portal that I just created you this morning. And the only difference is on the mobile application, it asks you for a host ID. That host ID is the same for every single one of our customers. It's my PBX. Peter Brian X-ray. Yeah, so it's going to be a blue phone icon with a Wi-Fi symbol coming out of it.
Well, go ahead and get it. Whenever I just set it up, everything's already there.
Yeah, well, you can always reach out and just give me a call if you have any questions and stuff like that. If you need any answering rules changes, what have you.
Right.
Okay, so that's pretty much it. And welcome aboard, finally. And not a problem at all. I hope you have a good day, Mandy. Bye.